All right. There we go. We're back up, I guess. That should maybe do it. Hopefully that worked.
Even reset the reset stream.
If not, I mean, some people that can get super chats through if you just want to still try. I don't know.
Simon! Hi, Simon. Already at 7 likes? That's good. Can we get an instant like spike? That's what I want to see.
Well, we were well on our way to 100 on the last one, so...
You know what I think it was? The Bald Queen. I think the Bald Queen said, "You're really going to celebrate my captivity? I'm gonna mess up YouTube." That's what I think happens, Stuart. I don't think there's anything else to think is what happened.
Well, Jersey is sent to PayPal, so let me just check that and read that one.
Okay.
So, Jersey, $15, so thank you.
Wow, thank you.
This timeline is what happens when you make Plain Stellaris, everyone's favorite genocide simulator, a required course at the Academy.
Oh, goodness.
Really enjoyed this season. 8 out of 10. Would purge the galaxy again. Nice.
So, yes, I enjoyed this episode quite a lot. I don't think it's better than last week, but I also don't think it's worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do.
It's kind of like we both enjoy Tapestry and the one where Riker takes command of the Hathaway. You know? Both super different, both really, really high ranking for us, just both different. So I think they're non-comparably excellent.
Yeah. So somebody test the super chat option now, I guess.
Kiss.
Anywho.
Oh, no. Well,
should probably get into it.
Yeah, we're committed now,
really
so.
So
we start with.
I don't know if you noticed, but this opening scene where you're zooming in on the planet, you see like different hexes start forming. It's not a complete grid, and there's in the subtitles there's a female voice which is not in the audio. It says female voice, atmospheric sweepers coming online, and then it says particle pollution down to 23% in upper troposphere.
Oh yeah, that's not in the episode at all.
So there's subtitles for it, but nothing else.
Right.
Hi Brandon, 3G, $10. Love the content, Captain and Commander. Thank you so much for this chat.
Lots to come. Lots to come.
George Mangrum, member for 13 months at the rank of captain, so thank you, George. Still can't super chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it might be a YouTube thing.
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike. Absolutely, please do. I did see that. Oh, Tenchi. Boo.
Still can't super chat or join. Well, yeah, it's a YouTube problem then.
Well, go to PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com if you really want something said. I mean, or just say here, but you know, if you really want to.
Yeah. Some are getting through, some aren't. So I mean, it's kind of up to you.
I really like this intro because our first episode had this lovely shot of Earth, so to restart with this not so lovely shot of Earth. That said, not as gruesome as I thought it was going to look. Like, it sort of looks polluted, but you would think modern tech can keep it okay. So there's a nice balance of it's not doing great, but also it's not broken. You know?
Well, the Q analyzes or talks about that later. He says in the other reality, you learned how to fix the problem. In this one, they just learned how to like keep the planet on life support, essentially.
Which I like that this isn't a defense grid, because we assume there'd be some big plot of them shooting through the defense grid. It's not. It's just a shield to keep the air in.
Atmospheric scrubbers.
Like, it's not actually... It's even simpler and sadder than we thought. So I really like that as a gentle twist.
Mike Bravo, $2. Ferengi Skull is Zek or Damon Buck. Yeah, it's got a...
it's all of them.
It's got the staff of the Grand Nagus underneath it, so...
I know, General. It's frustrating. Maybe try on your phone.
Wouter215 puts in €10. The super chat and like button works for me. Like button should definitely be working, so hit that, guys. But yeah. I don't know.
Yes, Johnny, absolutely. Yeah, so
this
Mike
happened. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Mike said he asked non-live but premiered episode we do on the same day. He asked, "Do you think Q could become omniscient as well as omnipotent? Omnipotent is a theory I had when Picard says you'll see him ill."
You see him ill. It could be. See, that's the thing. I think at one point, it's coming up here. He says, "Oh, the cut is deep," and I'm just but a suture holding it together. It sounds like something might have happened to the continuum, and basically he needs Picard's help to fix it. Could be that something that what changed the galaxy maybe affected the Q in some way. I don't know exactly, but it seems like something's up with Q for sure.
Yeah, a bit of a roundabout way of helping, you know. But you know, he's not the most clear, etc. So no, I thought it was a good. There's also I found this episode an interesting testament to the pandemic filming. It's a lot of 2 or 3 cast members talking in spaces, and here, like, they're looking up this epic scene, but they never really cut to the opposite. They're very, very efficient with. It's really about them, you know. It stays very focused. It's very character based, and unlike Discovery, which has less interesting characters, less interesting character moments, give these guys as much talking time as possible. And Q does rock, you know, He does some good lines. He captures well, I should say the writers capture his speech style, because John Lance is not writing it. The writers capture it. But he's absolutely, I'm not saying more aggressive, but he's more short. He's more, there's clearly an inner something going on that's driving him. Although the fact he still can't just be clear, you know.
Yeah.
It's still a game, even if the game is to a darker end.
Well, I love the whole, how provincial of you, how yesterday's Enterprise of you. There is no Stargazer.
Yes. Oh, that was lovely. Made me gently chuckle.
And then, yeah, Picard asks him, like, what did you do? And he says, oh, you show them a world of their own making, and they ask you what you've done. So human of you.
Yeah, he says it a few times in the scene. It's not, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You. Which,
and you're not just a pawn. You're not a piece. You're the very board on which the game is played. So it's like Picard's the linchpin, or the important factor in all of this. It's kind of an odd discussion.
Well, sure. Because this, I think, is a discussion that is a season 2 discussion into a season 3 discussion. This is the first discussion that sets off the 2-season arc. So it is confusing, and even says at one point in the long scene, you know what you did, Picard, and the audience is like, no, we don't. What did he do in the past? We have no idea. Maybe it's through love. Like there's a lack of context where once you rewatch it at the end of season 3, we're like, oh, that's everything. Like, he was being clear. We just have no context.
And later he says to Q, he says, or Q says to him, I mean, this is the only life you know. This is the only existence you understand. It's like, wait, what? Yeah. A Saucy Puppet Show throws in $50. Oh. Awesome.
So help him save a life.
Can't
Thank
stay
you.
For the whole live. Glad to see Q coming off as somewhat mean. Last episode seems to be part of the plot and not them just writing his character or writing him wrong. For your information, I can super chat from my phone, but not my laptop. There you go. That's good to know. So thank you so much.
Phone. Everyone getting their phones, yeah. No, I Q is not a trickster. He has some darkness to him. He kind of swapped out throughout the show. He was originally quite dark and menacing. So this is totally within his repertoire. Yes, there's something else to it, but I like this portrayal. I think it's interesting. And he certainly eats up the scene. Although I do wish, the click was actually... I love the little bang. It's cool, but they needed the flash. The flash is... That might be symbolic of something, of the Q continuum being weaker, but he still has all of his apparent powers, so I think that'll play into something where he can't flash. Yes. He flashed himself earlier, but... It
almost seems like a first-person perspective, like if you're being... it, you just notice all of a sudden you're in a different location.
Yeah, we had talked about that previously, which is a bit of a cop-out, but at least there's a reason.
Yeah. But then he's like, yeah, I missed my old friend Jean-Luc. Yeah. And so I just looked for the nearest explosion.
That's funny. It's funny. But it's very non-committal, because obviously Q is out of time, as in out of the temporal whatever. And so did Picard die? Is he been travelled here? Is his brain here? It feels like a mystery that they're going to know where they're going with. Yeah. It'll be clever. Yeah. It'll be clever. And then he slaps him in the face.
Wow.
Which I'm sure for several audience members were like, oh, physical abuse, elder abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I'm sick of your obstinance and stubbornness, for your insistence on changing in many ways, but not the one that matters. So it's like, okay, this is not a lesson; it's a penance. There's something really deep going on here, which it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for sure.
Yeah, it's very dense. This is going to mean a lot of extra stuff later, but yeah, very strange. The only thing I'll say here is that Picard does feel extremely weak in this scene. I get why, but this feels much like season 1 here. He's like, oh, Q, don't do this. But it's super balanced by later on. He's very, very strong and sure of himself. So I like the balance here of, I mean, if you're facing Q, you know you're the ant. Mm-hmm. But, not a good day, so I buy it. And we get the Romulan prisoners, all the Romulan slaves. I mean, that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Then we get into a mirror darkly, almost, as we reveal his Batcave, full of weapons from all of the different iterations of Trek. From JJ, to Discovery, to Prime, to Picard. Props galore, Stuart. And not just props.
Yes, I love the skulls. I love how Picard backs up, he's shocked at this, which I mean he should be, I guess. But it made me think I want a Cardassian skull on my desk. They look kind of cool.
I wonder who's the Borg he killed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if everyone's famous here, surely there'd be a famous Borg.
Maybe it's Hugh.
Well, it'd be hard to tell, but I wonder if that is the eye thing of a specific Borg that we saw, and that this is a deep cut reference.
Probably.
Well,
there's a Gorn skull. There's a weird unknown one at the back there.
Yeah, it kind of looks Iconian, like Star Trek Online Iconian. Maybe, because they've got weird whatever. I mean, it does make sense to have something radical and interesting. But yeah, we've got Ferengi, we've got Cardassian, we've got Martog, Vulcan, Borg, Gorn. See, I think that's Gorn too. There is obviously a knife there, so there's a clue, but... And to note, Martok uses the Discovery Klingon knife, so he's not using a Prime knife. I wonder which Ferengi that is. But yeah, pretty...
Well, it's the Grand Negus because of the staff there. We just don't know which Grand Negus.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But no, pretty fantastically graphic. And it's also simple. It's not...
Yeah.
They're not stuffed people. They're skulls. It's a certain... yeah. Oof.
And the story about Gul Dukat, killed just outside the capital city, put up a hell of a fight. And fun fact, he's the reason that you have that nifty synthetic body in this reality. Mm-hmm. So did Picard get injured in this fight so badly they had to transfer him to a synthetic body?
Yes.
Or was Dukat kidnapped him and gave him a synthetic body and Picard killed him?
No, absolutely what happened at the end of the other season. Which I liked. I mean, that's a good way of telling the audience he's also still a synth. And Q is a synth. Didn't make him human. So within one simple line, just adding to the lore, it answered a lot. But shows Q doesn't care. Because if Q thinks he's still the same Picard, and he can kind of see into the soul of Picard, that should answer the question of, is he really Picard or not? The universal God thinks he's still enough Picard to be worth it. To still teach a lesson, despite being a replica. Just saying. Worth considering. Yeah. We also get Martok.
Yep.
Who, I mean, is that Discoveryified or not? I can't really tell. We do see a shot.
Not really.
We do see a shot in behind the scenes, because they had skulls that were much bigger. I don't feel this as much. Doesn't go back like a Discovery one does. I think it's fine, but they don't ever show a clear side view.
Well, later we get a side view of some of the skulls when you see Harvey, so we'll be able to tell them. But
Sarek.
Yep, director Sarek. Yeah, he's like, nice touch, with killing him in front of his wife and son. And then the greatest general the mighty Confederation of Earth has ever seen. Mm-hmm. Bloodthirsty, set out to conquer the galaxy. Mm-hmm. You, of course. No, it's great.
Yeah, it was a very strong scene, and it told you everything you had to know.
Well, here's the puzzle piece, I think, too. He says, And now you're welcome to remain here in the body of a madman, in the world of a madman, to attempt like Macbeth to wash your hands, but they're unwashable, trust me. Or atonement, maybe even forgiveness. So I don't know, that's some kind of hint or clue as to what he's supposed to be doing. Like, can you redeem yourself after doing all of this? Can you make this character, I don't know. I don't know where it's going, but it's interesting the way he talks.
Yep. It is so much extra depth here that's just like, well, where is it going? Yeah.
Yeah. Razor 22 Gaming, $2. Thanks
you
for the live streams. Hashtag CSS World Razor.
World Razor. Yes. No, it's very good.
Oh, and the Q actually says here at the end too, don't worry, I won't let you do this alone.
Yes. Which could mean I won't leave you alone, or I've made sure that your crew knows. Which is presumably what he means, but... Because obviously he's moving them between this reality, this version of the day. Well, I'll talk about it later, but he's, I'm still not convinced he's the one changing time. It's not really his MO, ever. Yeah. But I will say, I think we all assumed, that when they cut to the ship, either in this moment or later, we'd see a scene of it doing something. Turns out, no. There's the only frame. It's kind of like the Emmett Till from the DS9 doc. Like, it exists and moving on. It's a little bit sad, because it's like, the symbology is beautiful, right? It says everything you had to say. It would have been lovely to see a shot of it. Or if Q then snapped and let Picard experience a moment as evil Picard. So you cut to like you're in TNG costume, or assume it's black, because they're all black costumes, on the bridge or green screen. He's ordering, like, they could have had a scene to kind of him experience how evil he really was. Would have been cool, but I mean the episode didn't need it, but it would have been cool.
Shannon Nash, member for 21 months in the record captain.
Thank you.
Says, shall we see what else has been lost in the wake of your fear? Fear. Maybe that's what the linchpin is. Picard is motivated subconsciously through fear. And Shannon Nash also says, I can't super chat either, sorry.
Try your phone.
Keep trying, or try your phone or something. Apparently some phones aren't working either, though. But, yeah.
So this one's kind of a
anyway, Harvey shows up. And my sensors confirm nobody's been here. Are you okay? No. Or can I ask if you're okay? No. I don't know who I am. It's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah. But, I was thinking, I mean, the robot probably is there to sense things and be like, my master no longer has the blood murder feels. Maybe I should report him. Luckily, he's quite a loyal robot. And glad to see the guy back. We knew he's come back, but he does a great android. I mean, very few complaints, and it's a nice, symbology of, well, this confederation does slaves because we shouldn't. They're kind of making a mockery of last season. Actually, yeah, they are, aren't they? Like, these bad people kept them as slaves. We wouldn't do that in season 2. The bad people do that, but the good people wouldn't. Huh. Dear me.
Then we get his speech. About conquering and wealth and resources, and you could be Earth's next great hero, because a safe galaxy is a human galaxy. And yes. Picard flinch.
I love the fact that he's in a different uniform. Although they may have just like color graded it, maybe black or grey. That could have been kind of funny to save buying a whole new one. Yeah. This is the moment I wish they'd done digitally de-age Picard in like a TNG variant. Because this would have been great to show him, like, in his prime, the message. He's a flat-on green screen, talking to camera. That's an easy de-aging compared to other things. I think that would have been really nice to, like, prime young him. Small thing, like, this is my message when I killed the Borg. I mean, this is good the way it is, but that would have been even more powerful to see, like, I'm looking to the face of my younger evil self. Save money, so...
We do get a shot of the skulls, though, from this side. And I think it's the one that's really elongated is that really weird one that was closest to Picard. So it's not the Klingon skull. Somebody messaged me saying, oh my God, did you see the Klingon skull? How elongated it was. It makes me so mad. And it's like, I said, it's not that skull. But
I'm pretty sure they're hiding it on purpose. And you can kind of see a Martok skull maybe in that shot, and it's okay. But you notice he has his Enterprise E chair.
Yeah.
That's just his normal chair.
And here's your morning usual. What is this?
Disgusting.
Colombian, dark. I mean, or a Colombian roast black. Janeway would have approved, I'm sure, but and then so this is the circle that Dante overlooked, one of the 7 circles of hell.
Yeah, it's a very relatable scene. I like it. Yeah. It's a good attention to detail.
We find out about Laris and Siobhan, that they were killed, and then that the shuttle's landing soon on the south lawn or whatever. So what is it that's so important that General Picard is being summoned to the presidential palace?
And ignore the fact that I've had an amnesia all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, it's Eradication Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that explains everything. Darth Duck throws in €5, so thank you. In episode 1, they show a nice fleet with different ships. Episode 2, they attack Vulcan in little one-person fighters.
Freighters.
Freighters. Chance missed. Why use La Serena again anyway?
We'll get there. That'll be a whole conversation. And he asked about Laris and they're dead.
Yeah.
You know, which does tell us that when we see Laris in the past in the trailer, well, that tells me they're going to fix the timeline, go back into the present, have to go back and fix it again because she's not alive here. She's definitely in the past, so there's more depth here than we think. But I got to commend the android's acting, because there's android, right, non-emotional, but he has this 20% subtle glee of murder and death and destruction. It's there in the dialogue, and it's really like he like his little smirky smiles of, yes, Eradication Day, killing the enemies of the Federation. It's like, oh, okay, he approves. It makes horrible things sound just that more okay. It's great acting, really good choices there by the actor.
The Governor, member for 13 months of the rank of Commander, so thank you so much.
That's a long time. Thank you.
Yeah, 2024 Earl Grey was erased from Earth. Equals evil Picard. Yes, they killed all of the Earl Grey tea plants.
That's good.
That's it.
That's fantastic. But you get this great shot of San Francisco. Really nice space shot. Not space shot, but a really nice shot. And President Hanneke Hansen.
Yep. We tried to hide through half of her face as long as they could, and I love how she does the checks.
Oh, potentially. It's okay. Maybe try in like an hour, half an hour.
Yeah, something like that. But she does a physical assessment, cognition, and senses and all that. Pain receptors. It was cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on the scene from the trailer, but the fact that she 7 of 9's it. You know, she doesn't do that many 7 of 9-esque tropes in season 1, especially, but that showed a massive understanding of how the character thinks. You know, it was so in character, it was so appropriate, it was so raw. 7, it was like, yes, they got it, they understood it. That elevated the scene so much, and not just Jerry Ryan, because now it's Jerry Ryan, it's not 7 of 9, like in terms of like looking, but that really grounded it all the way again. I thought she did a great job as well this week.
And then her husband walks in and says, "Are you ready, my dear? It's Eradication Day. The president needs to be there." And she's like, "What?" So not only did she find out she was married, but she's also the president. So I'm glad they're in positions of power. It makes it a lot easier to get things done, gotta say.
Yes, that's definitely the MacGuffin of ease here, because if one character's the president, anything can happen. But you know what? The pace was so freaking good. Okay. I just don't know why Annika would be the president, given that we have no idea who she would have been without it, but I guess a really good politician.
Yeah. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But in her morning brief, they find out there's a dissident activity in Okinawa.
Which is important, because that's where Daystrom was, which we've seen many a time in Season 1. So it's a nice place of notoriety. But not just that, but in the data that she looks at, you get a Major Kira Nerys. Like you get a Tasha and Kira are in the reference.
You also get an O'Brien and a Tuvok, I think, which I don't know why Tuvok
you missed
would be there unless he's captured.
Oh, you missed the frame. Well, they do use a lot of Season 1 CG, but that's fine. And they also mentioned that they use a Tetrion cascade against one of the races, which is the bomb that destroyed Neox's homeworld.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, Good reference.
We got a shot. Yeah, we got a shot from season 1 of the La Serena fighting the Romulan ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, yeah, it's cool. I like the alt cars here too.
Yeah,
very
the grey
very
and
stepped and the grey and looks good.
It looks sharp.
Yeah.
Then you get a darkened La Serena, now with yellow engines, and this is certainly confusing because the only things in this fight are La Serenas and a 200-year-old Vulcan ship.
Mm.
And we were told by someone in production that the La Serena is not necessarily even a Federation design. So why would that be their strike craft?
Well, it's also a freighter, so it's not like a fighter or anything.
Nope. Yep.
So it's a cargo ship. I don't understand either, but
and it doesn't even look But also Rios isn't wearing a uniform, but he is in the Confederation Armada.
Yeah, he's a colonel. Yeah.
But not in uniform. I mean, I get that a lot of people who hate Discovery may not even remember their ship because it's so infrequently used. I mean, it's not a good battle, but it's very quick, so who cares? I guess it's kind of my vibe.
Pretty much.
I mean, they really could easily just had a Sovereign. You know, I would have been fine to have the same classes, but they did make a point of showing not the Enterprise. So, I guess is it better to say they haven't got any Federation designs? But then we see those two ships in the next episode, the Steamrunner and the Nova. Are they really designing a short-range science vessel in the future? I guess so. So they really could have done with one Sovereign. But maybe they don't want to do phaser beams, so thinking if we do that, we have to do phaser beams, and that's less dynamic. It should have definitely been some sort of fleet engagement. I mean, it's fine. It's very nothing. The lighting's fine, but it's and they can't say budget's the reason.
Better than a lot of stuff we got in season 1 for sure. I gotta say.
They can't say budget's the reason here for why they reason these weird ships. I don't really see a reason. Oh, they could at least like change the Vulcan ships a little bit. Would have been nice. But they're exactly the same.
Yeah, I know, but
and they also stop attacking Rios after he talks. It's weird. Like all his action beats, then they don't fire him again once. So this scene's not as good. This is kind of the weakest like transitional scene, I think. He's not as good at the lying elements because he doesn't. You know, his lieutenant never actually responds to him not giving her orders. Like it all's a bit limited. Maybe they ran out of money here, although it's harsh / sad to see thing you get bombed. But it's definitely the worst of the segments of Wake Up, I think. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I love when it's like it's got a call from the president. He's like, the president? Oh, I don't know if I should answer this. This might be bad because I don't know what I'm doing. But Wouter215 throws in €5.
Thank you.
So did this universe Voyager lay waste to the Delta Quadrant or what? Wow.
Yeah, all the questions.
The whole time I was wondering where General Janeway is because of what she's doing, because Picard takes on the mantle of Borg Slayer. I think that would piss Janeway off. Anywho.
Oh, Stuart.
A saucy puppet show throws in $10. Covert mission, maybe. If Vulcan has been oppressed by humanity for a while, maybe old ships were all they had. Yeah, I'd buy that the old ships were being used for that reason. Sure. But it still doesn't explain the fleet of Confederate ships that are all in La Serena. So.
Yeah, it's also they're actually around Vulcan, so this is the final defense fleet.
Mm-hmm. It's the scraps. All the good ships were sent out and got destroyed on the way to get here. There's just ones left. Like when the Allies made it to Berlin, the only people left were the old men and the kids to fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it's the weakest of them. Or I love the D-Day around Vulcan's a great line. And to see him and Seven sort of chicken their way through a conversation is really fun.
Yeah, this is a secure thing. So if you have anything weird happen, you can speak freely. 7. You could explain 7 in that context. Oh, there's 7 left. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. So no, it was handled very well, I think. Yeah,
the second half's better than the first half. They didn't quite know what to do with them for it. But yeah, and it warps out straight to Earth. And unlike other episodes, Vulcan's real close, so he can get there very quickly. So that's explained, no problem. And then you get what was a constantly teased sequence in the trailers. I'm thrilled as short and insignificant, relatively speaking. This big bomb, which we thought would be a whole big plot point in the past. No, present day. Present day gets bombed, and then we don't show any more CG because we're out of money. So we're just going to have a lady say, Romulans, Vulcans, over there. But you know what? She's very good in this. I think this works great. They saved tens of thousands of dollars by not showing it. And you get the point. I'm okay with it.
And then she gets killed.
Yes, she does.
And Rios freaks out. Or not Rios. Elnor freaks out and thinks he's going to get shot. But no, it's Raffi saving the day. And Raffi, luckily enough, is the head of the security forces. So we got the president, we got the main general, we got head of security forces. Damn, they've set up those positions well, I gotta say. They're in a good place. Yeah,
they all the plot needed positions. But I did think when Elnor's lady died, it was a very, very good edit. I mean, you can sort of see it coming, but it's very graphic, and it also tells you this subplot is just for context. It doesn't matter, it's pure context. And to see, well, Picard kills some people later on. She kills some people, kills 4 people without really.
And Elnor does too, slits their throats.
It's true, yeah, mass murder. But it all feels more appropriate here. Lack of choice, although she's a bit quick to shoot them, and she could have used stun. Although,
maybe the gun doesn't have stun. I don't get that sense from these people.
No, you know what? You want prisoners because they need to keep their empire. You can't be killing all the people with information. I think they're smart on that. They're not the Mirror Universe. They have smarts. Hey, the Mirror Universe is not going to capture a bald queen. They're not that smart. These guys are that smart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she takes him in, and then we get a weirdly empty conversation, as if COVID was a thing. It's like, she's a president, this is a palace, and his little silver corridor. Like, it kind of works, but it's just like, you see their super lack of scale sometimes, but it allows the characters to shine. So I think, for what it's worth, it works. It's just a bit like...
I love this conversation because she turns it.
Yes, she does.
He's like, are you okay? And she's like, I think you're worried more about me than what's going on today. So why don't you remind me of everything that's happening today so I can know that you're fine. Yes. That's great. That's great.
And I would, he really should be a bit more on the noticing, but she probably keeps him by a little bit. Iron
grip.
There you go. Thank you. And every time she says, he said, yes, and Drati's, Agnes Drati? And he should have said, which is she's here? Yes, you assigned her here a year ago. We have dinner with her every week. That there should have been some funny reaction of.
Well, he gives her quite a few off looks behind her, like something's weird.
But he trusts her a lot because she pushes this of she, lucky there's no obvious moment.
Yeah. Let's see. We have 117 likes, 245 people here. That's awesome, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 150 likes. Still looking for 3 new members if possible, if the join button's working. If you want to jump down and check it out and see, good test to see whether that's working. If somebody wants to try joining, that'd be awesome. But yeah. Then we get the Gerati scenes, which I hate the cat, by the way. It's kind of funny, meow, but at the same time not meow. Spot 73. I love how she says, later, I appear to be lonely and no matter where I am. Which is fun. But, yeah.
Okay, got a new poll. Just interested to see what you guys think. Oh, 248 viewers, if only Super Chats worked. Oh, dear. What's the poll, Stuart? What's the poll?
Let's see. Come on. Who had the best wake-up scene? Rios, 709, Gerati, Elnor, and Raffi. I really like the cover-up. The cover for Gerati calling her 7, though. Annika's 7 shot. It's a drinking story. I think that's funny. But yeah, the president comes in. She calls her 7. And I assume you remember my husband. Yeah. I think that was well done too. Getting everybody in on the same page.
Well, I think part of it is she's a terrible liar. I think that's definitely part of it. No, yeah, I mean, considering she's not the best character, this I thought was both good scenes. You know, analysing the situation was fun.
Well, it seems like she just woke up, though. Like, they're all waking up at different times.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Seven's already woke up, got out of bed, got ready, went to the office, called Rios, had this walk and talk, and here she is, like, sleeping on her thing. Maybe she was sleeping and spent most of the time sleeping. I don't know.
That is super true, actually. Convenience factor of when everyone wakes up. Elnor happening to wake up when Raffi's there. But you imagine Q's deliberately doing it, so, you know, he's picking moments. Because they're all dead right now, and then he's transferring their body consciousnesses or whatever. It's a bit of a, you know. But no, it's good, and I you know, she's a bad liar. Again, the husband's really taking this crap well, what is happening. But it's, rather watchable considering. Like, she's about the character a little bit. Although we all know it's the Bald Queen, though, so it's, you know.
Yeah. I love how Dry's like, well, apparently I'm mind-bendingly lonely in any reality.
And that is going to be her plotline for the season, I'm guessing, given the Bald Queen even called her out for it.
Calls her a fragile little teacup, and you have this sense of unbelonging. Makes me wonder if she's going to have to take over the mantle of the Bald Queen so she can belong and hear the hive and the voices in her head and feel like part of something. Foreshadowing.
And Tertiary says, too many member berries. No, it's just using the universe. I mean, it's just, this stuff exists. I think
too many member. What does that mean?
Member berries. It's a South Park expression where, oh, you remember? You remember Han Solo? It's a whole like couple of episodes saying that we can't exist without thinking about the past because the present's shit. So we're all going to be nostalgic of the past. Which, in fairness, you know, most of the best content came out in the past when there was more creativity. That's you know, and you can only have so many ideas. You know, you can't make a new sci-fi show that being compared to Firefly or Star Trek or Star Wars or Stargate or Battlestar or Firefly. You know, it's always be compared. Whereas doing a show in the 80s, it would be original. It'd feel original. You know, Firefly was almost original. You know. But no, I'm surprised this is her thing. But they're definitely setting up as, you know, what has Agnes got to live for. She's a cyberneticist who obviously had no, you know, who had a man, but not for much. They kind of explicitly say in the previous episode that she was only with Maddox for a year, so I don't know how old she's meant to be. I assume in her 30s, but you know, she's clearly not into people so much. But she did good. She did good with the material. And then we get a Bald Queen reveal, which is good. It works. In handcuffs, despite in a force field.
Oh, yeah.
And she has
I love how she starts freaking out about a temporal divergence and all this, and Chinatown, whatever. And then Annika Hansen assimilated, da-da-da-da.
Although, as been pointed out, they got that wrong, because that's her birthday year, not her assimilation day year. So that's a canon mistake. They've got that wrong.
Oops.
But, you know. And I want to give them credit. We've seen the behind-the-scenes pictures of this costume and this whatever, and the skin is very brown, like very orange. So the Borg are defined by their green hues, so giving them the green force field lights, what a stroke of genius to allow the Borg Queen to have her Borg feel without actually having any Borg lights on her. I thought it was a very, very good way of kind of having your cake and eating it too. But yeah, I mean, you kind of need that vibe, and they achieved it beautifully. If she was just the Borg Queen as we saw in the behind the scenes, you'd be like, I mean, looks like an alien. But that extra oomph is oomph, so good job for them. Good choice.
But there's been a division, reality has been split, time has been broken. And
all I kept thinking is, why isn't the man being like, oh, we should maybe fix this then, let's try to solve time, because I can't let my empire fail because of time travel. But he just takes like, oh, she's insane. You don't get this.
She's saying that his wife had been assimilated and whatever, and so that's where he says the crazy line. Cage them up for a little bit and they go crazy.
Which is a great line after, but I would have thought he'd take it a bit more seriously. Especially they take it seriously. Just given, you want your empire to survive. He's very nonchalant. Small thing, just. But obviously you need to kind of move past it, etc.
Well, Seven goes into the whole, they can sense echoes of each other and da-da-da-da-da. And he kind of looks at her like, what? So I've heard. I mean... And then she wanted to be notified when Picard landed, and he's landed. It's the next scene. Guys, hit that like button. We still got to get to 150 likes. We need 5 more, but we have 261 people, so let's go for 200 likes. 200 likes. You can do it. I know you can.
Yeah, no, it's a good set of stuff, and good exposition dump, good vibe.
Yeah, huge exposition dump.
And I this is the first time Seven's seeing the Borg in this real way, and it feels so much more organic than how she was dealing with the Borg in season 1. They understand it better. She's dealing with it. She's an adult. She's had all this experience. But you see it in her face. That's the balance of acting that was missing in season 1. I hope Jerry appreciates the better directing, the better writing. Even if the script says react in a stoic yet hurt way, it just works better rather than Seven drinking booze of Rios at the end, lamenting, killing people. Like, that's not Seven. Yeah. This is Seven. Her
reactions were spot on many times during this episode. When she first saw the Borg Queen, the look on her face, and she kind of stumbled back just a step or two, was awesome.
Yeah, honestly, the difference in she feels like the character where season 1 she just didn't most of the time. It's a stark contrast of quality here. I'm very glad they recaptured that because, fan favorite character kind of got destroyed to a good chunk, and they're slowly building back up. So good job. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And keep voting the poll, guys, as well. 144 votes. Clear victor, but, good 160, etc.
Let's see, we got another PayPal here.
Trekyards at hotmail.com if you want to support what we do here. Because we do need at least another $80 to kind of break our minimum, which is a bit sad for our big live of the week. But you guys will be with us next week, I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's, Kit 10K says, I was going to issue my Trekyards Super Chat Challenge, but with YouTube being stupid, I'm going to wait for now. He messaged me before the live saying he was going to do that. So I just suggest trying it again at some point. This has happened before twice, where there was issues with Super Chats, and it fixed itself before the end of the live stream.
And then we got 100 by the end. It was like, okay, good, we're saved. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So just the YouTube, maybe they're updating something or whatever. Next scene, we run into Raffi and Elnor again. And she says, I got orders to take this prisoner and to not go for psycho interrogation. From who? And then General Picard, he really plays the role, and he's intimidating as hell when he walks up to that soldier. From me, soldier. It's like, sorry, sir. So,
my only gripe here, and it's pure coincidence, is why the hell is Raffi taking Elnor, random guy, to the president's palace, which they call this later on, the palace, on execution day, not knowing it is that, and Picard sees her. Doesn't make any sense why they're all here. But it's fine. It all works. You need that sleekness. It's you know what I mean. There isn't any reason for this to coexist at the same time, but I'm okay with it because it's a good scene. Yeah. It's a fun scene.
It didn't bother me at all.
But you know what I mean, though. It makes no sense. But it's okay.
Yeah.
And also to
note.
Sorry.
Say what you're going to say first.
No, you first. I'm moving to something else.
I was going to say this is the one instance where is that you, JL?
Yes.
I have no problems with the use of JL because that's perfectly fine in this instance. So.
Well, she's also back at a Federation mode, so I can get for that. I also want to comment here. These uniforms, obviously hard grey. The deltas are actually now the Confederation delta in the fabric, which works better. Is this the Prodigy uniform in essence, apart from the stripe? Because now this colour.
Yeah.
It's like that's the Prodigy uniform, surely. But we saw the cadets wear this. Are these all meant to be cadets? Because we do see.
I think it's security forces.
So we do see 3 people with the normal uniform, and the Admiral version. But her rank is 3 pips because they have pips inside. So she's a 3-ranked officer. So they're wearing cadet uniform. You know what I mean? I thought it was a bit of an odd choice, but it just looks like the Prodigy uniform. I was like, Prodigy.
Yeah. But this is the whole. Oh, it is. I love Elnor here. Elnor has some good moments in this episode.
He's a one-liner. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very much, and he's got that absolute candor thing going on. So, But this is where Picard's very Picard. He says, "Seems like we've been thrown into a mad world by a madman, and I'm gonna get us all out of here." It's like, hell yeah, that's the Picard we know. And then by the way, Seven's president. Oh, I'm sure she'll wear that gracefully. I laughed at that. That was good.
Yeah, no, it was good. I also love how Picard, as he walks out, he stays stoic, dramatic face. He doesn't break character to say, "Good to see you guys," because he knows he's being watched. He's famous. So I really like that. I'm strong. And the way he handles himself, it feels so right. And you need this positive forwardness. You know, everyone here is doing a good job. Everyone here is pushing the story forward, and then boom. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's good. And I also think that she says Seven will wear it well, whatever, but she doesn't. She has zero arrogance about it. Actually, zero. So that shows Raffi doesn't know her as well as she thinks she does, which I kind of like.
Well, it was a joke though, the way she said it. Like, oh, I'm sure she'll wear that gracefully, or she'll like bring this up every day for the rest of our lives together. It was kind of those things. Like if you and I got thrust into another reality and you heard, oh, by the way, Stewart's the president, you'd be like, oh, that could be really bad.
Yes, but you would mention it. You'd make a big deal of it. Seven doesn't. I just think I like that that's not paid off. That Seven isn't relishing it. She's just doing her job.
Not yet. I think it'll come up at one point.
Okay, maybe. Yeah,
I really do. Yeah.
Like in the car stuff, we know later on. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's more of a setup.
Yeah, everybody's having issues with super chats. Anybody that can though, a lot have got through. So I mean, it's no biggie. I'm sure a lot of people are saying it's coming off their credit card too. But it's showing it went through.
Oh really?
But it's not coming through on YouTube, which means it might come through at the end.
Yeah, put in the chat now if you are seeing that, because that's very strange.
Yeah, Mark Lawrence is like super chat broken.
I mean, the worst night to do it, but also the bonus one with whatever.
Oh, we've been doing good, so
I'm
not too worried about it.
Oh no, Mark on PayPal at trekyards@hotmail.com. Yeah, wow. So if you want to put any thoughts, comments, trekyards@hotmail.com. I mean, even 5, just like we'll read them out, and you get to put lots more text. So
thank you, Mark. That's awesome.
That is awesome, yeah.
Yeah, but the super chat or the PayPal and the super chats they're allocated differently for different things, but it all works out in the end. So
yeah, I mean, JB, you just go onto PayPal, your own personal PayPal, and you say who do you want to give it to? Trekyards@hotmail.com. Go away.
And let us know you sent it, and we'll check it. We'll read your comment or question that way.
And M Starks, they'll try to join the channel. Isn't that 3 people said they're trying to join the channel? Like, you've got your 3 members, Stuart. That's so generous of you guys. Well, hold on to that, and on Monday, maybe come back and join. You know, we'll still be here.
Monday when we do our Discovery one.
Yeah, they're not going to be there for that, Stuart. Tuesday on the next Picard video.
Next Thursday then for the next card review.
Yeah.
But this is where the guy's like. By the way, Picard has demanded the title Borg Slayer, or petitioned the title Borg Slayer, and I instantly thought of Janeway. I'm like, what the hell is Janeway doing right now in this reality?
Well, we heard Sisko. It would have been nice to have had a bit more of the famous ones.
That might not be Benjamin Sisko. That could be Jake Sisko. That could be Jennifer Sisko.
Ooh, that'd be fun. General Jennifer Sisko. That'd be a nice twist. Can you imagine getting her back? It's like, Sisko's waiting for your office. Yes? And it's Jennifer. It's like, oh my god, hi! We haven't seen you in 20... That's awesome! That'd be really cute, actually. But we've got a question from Mark. He says, can someone tell me, is Discovery set in the future after Picard even? I never watched Discovery. Seasons 1 and 2 in the past, seasons 3 and 4 in the future. And double-barreled... Simeon? Is it me, or is that a 31st century phaser she's holding? No, it's the brand new alternate universe phaser video filmed, coming out, and Stuart learned lots. Because I was able to really find I was able to find some good information on it.
And just to clarify on the Discovery thing, the first 2 seasons are like 10 years before TOS. Well, season 1 was, and then they jump a little bit of time, and so it's like 9 years. But anyway, and then they go 900 years in the future, so they're way beyond Picard at that point. And Andrew Urich puts in $5 with no comment, but thank you so much. All the super chats are appreciated. We have 187 likes, 279 people here. Hit like. Let's try to get to 200 likes. I think it's very doable. I wonder if the subscribe button's working. If anybody's not subscribed, try subscribing to the channel. Try that, maybe. Anyway. Turd Ferguson, $2. I have nothing to say but poop. The show was good.
Oh, okay. Really role versed there. And those the credit card thing, I don't know if I'm hoping it goes through and randomly. I mean, we'll probably tell the next live if it has gone through, and we'll see the figures later, and we'll let you know. But thanks for trying, guys. I mean, seriously, you guys know what we do for you. We guys know what you do for us.
We got another PayPal as well.
Oh.
I don't know if people want me to say their names, but
well, I mean, the amount and first name. I mean, that's fine.
Well, Joseph for $10. He says, "I've immensely loved the new season of Star Trek Picard so far, but I have a couple of gripes. One, what do those childhood memories from the first episode have to do with the timeline changing back in 2024 in Los Angeles?
Lots to do.
In the immediate area of the Paramount Studio lots. And number two, didn't they just get a whole slew of new ships from STO? Why couldn't they use them in the battle scene at Vulcan? Well, it's a different reality. First of all, those ships wouldn't be designed. You just saw what the Galaxy class looked like. Why did they have to go back and Why did they have to go back to a copy-paste fleet of their special favorite ship? It annoys the piss out of me when the production team has literally handed good stuff, and so far they have used new stuff in a couple of frames at most. No. They've got some... Production team is doing a fantastic job on this one. Don't worry.
I think it's symbolic that they didn't want to design entire alternate aesthetic, because if you saw a Federation ship, you have to say, right, what Penance does it have? Is it more aggressive? Has it got more weapons? So even if they got an Enterprise Z, you'd have to modify it massively. Now, I say that knowing next episode we see an unchanged ships. Maybe more change than we think. Who knows? But really, that's a lot of extra work to do. I mean, Egan must have sold then a Confederation Sovereign. But, I think the logic was, if we see one ship, it's not enough. One Sovereign isn't enough to win against anybody, right? So we'd have to say the entire fleet, which is very expensive. Let's just do the stupidest thing, which people are going to ignore the most. S3 just fleet. Who cares? Like they went for the lowest common denominator so that they could then move on without worrying about it. So I'm okay with it, and it's such a minor part of the episode, even though it thematically means something. But speaking of, I asked our audience with 203 votes, who are the best wake-up scene, with a big majority. 7 wins at 61%. Rios gets second at 18%. Girardi at 16%, and Elnor Raffi at 5%. Oh, poor Elnor Raffi. I
liked Rios's. I mean, 7's was literally a wake-up scene. I guess Girardi's was too. They were both sleeping. But I thought Rios's was pretty well done, actually. Honestly, like, what a situation to find. It's funny because when I was watching it with Sylvia, she's like, "Hey, that's a quantum leap thing, man. He should be saying, 'oh boy,' at that point, waking up in a battle. Oh boy." He did. He might have. He said something in Spanish, so maybe he did say that. Who knows? But yeah, what a situation to find yourself thrust into. So Samuel's doing another poll here, but we have 281 people watching, which is great, guys. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell icon. If you can try to join, that'd be awesome. We wanted to get 3 new members for this one. And we have 197 likes. Hitting that like button is free of charge. It's very simple and it does help out immensely. So if you can hit that like button, we'd appreciate it. And if you want to try super chatting, if it has worked for you before, just go ahead. I don't know.
But Richard has a great comment here. I found it amusing how Far 7 and the Starfleet officers adapted to the situation. Like, if you ever served on a starship, suddenly wake up, another universe timeline was just a thing. But they've made this reference before. A civil person in a chaotic world can work better than a chaotic person in a civil world, Mirror Universe style. So these are really special officers. That's kind of, we follow those sorts of people in Star Trek. So 7 is very, very good, although it hasn't got access to all the mind.
And the one that was bad at it was Girardi, because she's not Starfleet trained.
And in fairness, Rios as well, he wasn't great, because he was like, I was captain. Like, he had become his new self, and now he's in this, like, captains are about being in control, and he did not do what?
Insaba Noor puts in $5. Here's some money to not beg likes for 10 full minutes.
I mean, whatever likes we get in 10 minutes, there we go. Whatever likes, we don't care. You can like us or not in 10 minutes. There you go. So 26, we ask more likes. Okay.
So scene's great. They get rid of the husband, essentially, from to piss off. And then they have a talk amongst themselves and talk about Q and how Picard's not sure if it's the same, if Q's all right. Like something seems off.
Which I appreciate the hanging the lantern on. Not only we've thought that as the audience, but he's noticed. And he mentions Q. I would have liked it if Seven said, "Oh, I've met him." Would have been nice.
She got snapped naked by Q
little
Jr.
Q. Yeah, by the little Q.
Q ball.
And I love Elmore's response though. That was perfect. But I felt like Raffi didn't know who he was. She would. That is a creature that they're all briefed on. You know.
Yep.
But I mean, she made a joke of it, so you can't really tell. Maybe it's a way of saying, "Oh, I'm not frightened. Here's a joke," which is a great line. That's great.
Yeah.
I thought I've heard that before, but it's a great line. But I like the, you know, because he's a big deal. You know, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And then some kind of test. And we got to do the right thing, but we're not sure what. And then he says, "I didn't think he felt quite sane to me. Or he didn't feel quite sane. Something's like odd." Which this is a good conversation. Again, lots of exposition, but
Good
very
stuff.
well done, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Raffi's reaction to that too. "Oh, that's great news. That's good."
Yeah. What else did they do in the scene? There's the one other thing to talk about, which is important.
Nothing really. That time's broken.
Yes, it's about the alternate.
The Borg Queen.
Yeah, the Queen's here. The alternate universe in the next scene? Or is it in this scene where they say it's not an alternate universe, it's their universe?
It's this one. Yes, you're right.
So read that out.
Yeah. I got to go back and find it because I scrolled through it.
That's important in terms of context. Although it's sort of a technicality because it's functionally the same.
Yeah, this is it here.
Yeah.
Seven says the Borg Queen suggested that there may have been a divergence in time, and he's like, "Time, of course, that's how he did it. This is not another reality. This is our reality. He went back in time and changed the present," which I hate the way that he said that because it's like was in the present. He went back in time and changed the past is what he should have said, but for some reason he said he went back in time and changed the present. And then we find out who, and he says Q. That's the conversation, yeah.
Oh, so don't say this is not alternate, this is time travel? Yeah, okay, so
No.
yes,
You said it's not an alternate reality, this is our reality.
Yes.
But he went back at some point and changed something, and that's what we got to fix.
But it doesn't sound like Q, though.
No, it doesn't.
Because he also doesn't need to go back and tell you he just flash something to happen, you know? He doesn't need to interfere, he can just do. He can rewrite reality. You know, so it's an odd one. But it's also telling the audience, because Picard obviously is thinking, I've been moved into an alternate universe like the mirror universe. So knowing it is our universe, it's no longer a case of I have to travel back to our universe, it's a case of I have to fix a time problem. So that does change the direction of travel, which I like. His brain, you can see, whirring, although it is also an alternate universe, because even though something's changed, it's now a different branch. So he isn't an alternate universe. They've just got to go back to where the branch was changed. Because this one will still exist and go forward. But at least they're smart though in the writing, because they understand the laws of time travel and realities, and they discuss it and they bring it up to the audience and they don't treat it like idiots. It's bringing you through well, and thank you for that, because time travel is the biggest risk in Star Trek to do, and Discovery failed miserably in season 2 to make time travel work. They literally forgot about plot points in time travel. Here they're doing good.
And Turd Ferguson says, was it Janeway or Cisco that said that every Starfleet officer is briefed on Q? That would have been Janeway that said that. Yeah.
Just after he was in a bath with her.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the Borg Queen having chit-chat with Jurati. Clearly a setup for their relationship. And again, they beam in. I really like this beam effect. It's really growing on me. It's really nice. It's a good hybrid of everything.
No, yeah, I agree.
And this is how you do Picard. He's coming face to face with the Borg Queen, who was the reason he got Locutus, who he caressed and was caressed by when Locutus. He then fought physically to save time, save Earth, and save his ship from, ripped her spine apart. And unlike season 1, he's like, Borg, ugh. He's just much better acting. They get it, you know, because this represents Borg more than a cube does, you know, this is the fundamental reality of the Borg, and even his yelling voice is so medium. I really, really thought Patrick's acting here was so much better. Like, remember, Jonathan said some of his best acting is in season 1. No, this is Patrick doing good. This is proper Picard high level acting. So good job director and good job writer. Again, the writer is walk up to and look like Picard. Excellent, nailed it. Good job.
And Mr. Anderson says every Starfleet captain was briefed on Q. I don't buy that for a second. There's no indicate. I mean, in lower decks, Q shows up to some ensigns. I think you would brief every Starfleet officer on Q.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a but
just for safety's sake.
But he already had talked to Mariner, so there was already a connection. So that's sort of just let's play chess again. That's a good distinction, though. Captain, she was only a commander. I mean, it's like the Omega Particle. You know, let's not talk about that until you have to.
But Elnor knew because he read Picard's book. So his first officer and his best friend for how many years?
Yep. Nope.
Q wasn't brought up once in a discussion, nor read his. I can understand her not reading his book, maybe, but seriously.
Wait, wouldn't that be kind of funny actually if that's the reason? You didn't read my autobiography? Well, no. Oh. I tell all of the Q stories in that one.
You told me you wrote it before you met me, so why do I care?
Yeah.
All right, but the Borg Queen says you are Locutus and you are not.
Yes, because he says
whether that
you
implies
and she says
not
you.
In this universe or because of the synthetic body.
No, not even that. I mean, he's always Locutus to her because to her she's not John Luke. So it's more just a case of you are both him who was mine and you who is you. Nothing about synthetic body. It's just.
And here's where we find out she knows where it happened. 2024, the where, Los Angeles, and the timeline originates there in Los Angeles. And this is what I love. There is someone there to help a watcher. Now immediately, when I didn't notice that the first time, I caught it the second time, and I'm thinking, all right, they got the guy cast that was on the Relativity as the commander. Please, for the love of God, let it be him. I mentioned that last night in my first reaction live.
Yep.
And everybody's like, no, it's not him. It's obviously Guinan. I'm like, oh, it could be Guinan.
Oh, it's not Guinan.
I don't think so either, but it could be. And I'd be not happy about that. Let's be fair. I want it to be the temporal cop. I forget his name.
Oh,
the guy
God.
that took over from Braxton.
Yeah, no, I think, because that would be fucking smart. Right? If after, because he was older, he took a cushy job on Earth watching the timeline in an important part after Relativity, because I can imagine, if the storyline ends up being, what better way to mess up time, but you got to deal with the time cops first, haven't you? So you go back in time to where you know a time cop is, uses access codes to blow up Relativity, and like send a shockwave through their timeline. Once you destroy time cops, they can't stop you from doing your time messing up, and boom, you win.
Yeah.
But he's still in the past. You haven't killed him yet. So that would be fantastic. Then not only that, you get now 29th century time technology in the past, which will help you in the present. Yeah, and because he wouldn't, because his version of, because in that guy's perspective, the future is still the future, because he hasn't changed yet. So he's not looking for Picard. Picard shows up. The guy's like, you're not meant to be in this point in time, so I'm not going to respond to you as the time guy, because you could be from an alternate universe. I'm going to wait and see what happens, and then they reveal you're the guy. And that would be why he interrogates Picard, because Picard doesn't know who he is. He knows who Picard is. I mean, that is the payoff. That is the...
Yeah. People are saying it's Laris because she's in the past in the trailers, and it's Guinan.
So is Soji, so that doesn't connect either.
Yeah.
Why would it be Guinan? And you can't be Guinan because she would have to be old and fatter Guinan, which would completely disregard the I made myself age now.
But it's a different reality.
No, it's not. No, that's past Guinan, because that's still the past.
Oh, yeah.
So it can't be Guinan unless they fully de-age and de-waste her.
That's true.
It can't be Guinan. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just... Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole discussion, actually, for a video. I think we should talk about it.
But it's exciting. It's so small, but it's there.
I love it, yeah. A Saucy Puppet Show, $5. The first contact Borg theme when they met in this scene was great. And Andrew...
I don't know if I caught that. The music was really good this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I caught that.
Yeah. And Andrew puts in $15 Australians, thank you. Thanks for all the great work, guys. Well, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of, we have 308 people watching,
Yes.
213 likes. I don't care what Ensaba Noor says. Hit that like button, guys.
I spent 10 minutes exactly. You nailed it. Exactly 10 minutes to the minute. Well done. Good
Didn't
job.
even try.
Oh, good job.
But yeah, hit that like button. Let's try to get up to at least 250 likes.
Yes.
Should be super doable. We should be able to hit 300. So it's really important likes in Saba Noor. So that's why we're asking for likes. Hit the like button, guys.
And if you want a super chat but can't, then trekyards@hotmail.com is the PayPal. You can do a long message and we'll read everything. So if you have a comment, point, suggestion, or even like a review of the episode, a medium-sized one, put it in PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com, trekyards@hotmail.com. We'll read them out. But Shannon Nash says, I wish I could super chat. So I'm noting what you would have said. Notice how the Queen calls him Locutus, but the Borg in episode 1 call him Picard.
Yes.
Where's the disconnect? Now, does it mean season 1? Because there are no Borg in episode 1. Oh, no, you mean the Borg Queen episode 1.
Queen, yes.
Well, we don't even know that's a Borg Queen. You know, they say it is.
Yeah.
But it's super unconfirmed at this point. You know, there's so part of the mask thing. But Shannon, it's not a coincidence. You know, all of these questions there'll be an answer. You know, it's so different writing.
Well, who calls him Picard? I mean, Seven does. Girardi probably would. His mom might, but I think his mom might call him something else. There's a lot of rumors as to who that was, and we'll see. There's a reason the face is covered for sure, though. So I like the idea that Girardi has never had a sense of belonging. So if they have to somehow hook her up to the Borg to have her come to the future to ask for help or something, that'd be interesting. I don't know. I think it's way taller than Girardi was, though. So there's that. But
yeah.
Anyhow.
But no, these are good scenes.
That unbelonging thing, that was a big thing. They made a big point of that. So I think it's going to play in very importantly here. So
speaking of, though, these are great scenes. And considering they're in dull environments, they do such a good job with the dialogue. And everyone has a little bit to do. And once again, I'll credit the art design. You would be tempted to make all evil universe dark, grimy, red, which is the highlighty bits, but not most things. This is all clean, white, normal. It doesn't feel extra gruesome, because this is our reality. These are not evil people. Because in the Mirror Universe, Discovery retconned it saying there is a distinct genetic component that disposes everyone to be a bit more evil. So there's a reason for the extra barbarity, it's just who they are. This is all of the people that we know, as you said on our review, nature versus nurture. The world they've grown up in has made them who they are. Picard can be a mass-murdering, genocidal maniac, but Shinzon was a mass-murdering, genocidal maniac, and that was just nurture as well. So people, that's the entire point of Nemesis. Same with Law in some extent. Similar people just change differently. There is that symmetry. So I really like the art design. It's not taking a literal dark approach. There isn't the need to have evil flags on every door hasn't got their symbol like Mirror Universe. It's not trying to be this evil universe. And you can imagine the writers saying, right, production designer Dave Blass, how can we make it not feel like the Mirror Universe? Because it's not the Mirror Universe, despite it being another Mirror, very specific challenge. Good job them. I think it's a very, very good job considering. Which is then speaking of, Stuart, how do we go back in time? Because President Annika Hansen, despite having full clearance, has no time travel in this reality, which is interesting as well.
Well, not that she saw in her morning briefs, she said. Nothing to indicate.
Oh, she Googled, she T-researched time travel. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, more crude methods like slingshotting around a star, gravitational pull. Kirk has done it a few times. So we had a Kirk nod, which is great. But yeah, and then Girardi's like, hey, but there's micro shifts and chronoton radiation and all that.
Yeah.
They had Spock. Well, we have her. And this is a great idea to have the Borg Queen kind of come on board. And what makes you think she'll help us? Well, all this talk of, eradication. Do you want to be killed today, or do you want to go back to the Delta Quadrant and have some Borg waiting for you? And then the Borg Queen just basically agrees to help them, and I think it's great.
Yeah, it's like we know we sort of crippled you, but better than right now. We'll get you back to a 6 out of 10 power. Right now you're at 0.1. But no, I thought the time travel was super well thought out. We've all asked as fans, it was that easy in TOS. And in A Bird of Prey. Which actually, in fact, this gracefully retcons it. It's not the ship that's important, it's the calculations. So it's not the old bird of prey, it's that Spock was clever enough and he just happens to be that good, implying that most people can't do it. I kind of got the implication that Data could have done it if they'd wanted to, which I think is not much of a leap. But I really like they fully explain it. It's organic. It retcons it nicely. It explains it. It's not a secret. Picard doesn't say it as if it's a big secret, just a case of it's known to be obscenely hard. And Jurati, who's a biomechanical expert, she ain't time travel, so she wouldn't know unless it was relatively knowledgeably, people know. I mean, Kirk's famous. Star Trek 4 wouldn't be a secret necessarily. So I thought it was very nicely played. And the Ball Queen.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what? Yeah.
It's funny because there's a book called Section 31 where they talk about the engine, the Enterprise engines had a certain imbalance that was unique to that made it possible the first 2 times when they did it, and then they replicated that for the Bird of Prey. But this book's about getting those engines to travel back in time, something about the components in them. But anyway,
yeah. It does mean
anyone can do it essentially.
It does mean I have to rewrite Convergence. Because I have a very specific reason as to why they can't slingshot, and now I have to, include this. Yeah. But it's good, and Picard sounds great saying Kirk because he doesn't say Kirk. No one ever says Kirk, but Patrick said Kirk. Good stuff.
I love how they tell Rios they're gonna all beam up, including the Bird Queen. He's like, "Excuse me."
Yes.
I thought you said Bird Queen there. And then they try to beam out. This annoys the shit out of me. They try to beam out. Doesn't work. Security lockdowns, protocols, whatever. And then all of a sudden you hear a security alarm blaring. Attention, attention, security protocols initiated. Part of security protocols would be to detect there was just a transport in effect that got canceled and locate where it was. I expected guards to be pouring into the room in a minute. 2 guards come in later with the husband. It's like, oh, you're here. Oh, we were looking for you, kind of thing. Nothing's ever made of the security protocol thing where the alarms are blaring and they tried to get out. That's a pretty big deal in a president's palace, especially on a day like this. So it kind of bugged me a bit.
No, I agree. It's odd. I said to you as a way of possibly helping that in our earlier review, I said that it would have been nice if Rios had said, because I'm a Confederation starship, I can tap into the official grid and therefore can beam through the anti-beam mechanical stuff. But then when the second layer of security came up, then he can't. So they wouldn't class it as a beam of being a random beam, but like, well, someone tried to beam in and they just forgot the window. That I would have thought was better. But the president would always have transporter inhibitors on her, because this implies that when they beamed in and out of the facility, people can just beam her out. So that not great, but it's an okay MacGuffin to push the plot forward. You would think people would have questioned Rios as to why he's in orbit. I mean, there's a few things. But there is a certain sense of Earth is so powerful that no one's getting to Earth unless they were official. Like, there aren't threats to Earth because no one tries to get Earth. Kind of like in DS9 with the Dominion. People just living their lives. There aren't transport inhibitors everywhere because, like, you don't attack Earth, So there's a certain confidence there that is allowing these things to happen, and then undone with the beaming right there. Yeah. And Andrew says, so the super chat show up under my YouTube purchase history, but doesn't show up in the chat, and doesn't show up in our chat revenue either. So for us, there's nothing going through. It may, we might be able to report back in a week and say, hey, it all went through. Bit weird. Really sorry. Mostly sorry for us, obviously. But we did get a new PayPal if you want to go check.
Ooh, we did. All right, cool.
Which is great. I mean, those good ones show, like, as you guys know, I just bought a new microphone, so you guys are basically just paid for the microphone. So thank you, seriously.
Yeah. I don't see a new PayPal though.
Wasn't Joseph's one? Was that or did Joseph's?
I already read that one.
Oh. I just remember Mark's being the oof. Okay. Well, double credit to Joseph.
Yes. Let's see. The poll is at 218 votes. So if you want to read that and close that.
Yes, good option. So I asked the question: what do you think of Picard in this episode? 45% fantastically well done. 39% he did good. 9% it was okay. 6% he felt old, should not be here. pretty high margins there for good. So, good job.
Hit that like button, guys. 318 people watching, which is fantastic. I think we can hit 300 likes, but let's aim for 280. If you haven't hit that like button, please give it a like. We'd really appreciate it. It makes a big deal. So, makes a big difference. Then she talks about the heightened security measures or the palace lockdown, and Rafi's like, "Why are they onto us?" She's like, "No, it was in my brief. It's just heightened security measures because of Annihilation Day or whatever it was, Eradication Day. That's it." But yeah, and then the communications go down right away, so they lose contact with Rios. And then the Borg Queen gets sucked back and put in the queue. I hated how they use the term queue. I know that, queue is a line, but I think a lot of people were confused because I had one or two people on my First Reaction Live last night kind of mention it. No, she's not in the queue. She is not a member of the queue. She went back in line for inauguration.
I really wished at this point that they'd said, the queue? Dry's like, yes, we've got a Gorn traitor. We've got they should have listed, Zindi, Aquatic, because clearly the way it's framed, that whole stadium is the Borg Queen comes out. There's no queue, right? The way it's framed. Yeah. I would have loved to have, sad to say, I would love to have seen as they walk on stage, you see someone get disintegrated, like a Gorn, like I said.
Yeah, it should have been that way. And that should have been the grand finale, the Borg Queen with General Picard. Yeah. Not just one person. Yes,
because that's the way it all frames. That's the way. I mean, it would have been expensive. I get it. But yeah. Or can you imagine? They bring back Shran or something. Like Jeffrey Combs play a Dorian Shran with white hair. They kill him. It's like, oh, Jeffrey Combs and Picard. His 1 second cameo. Damn.
Yeah.
I put up a new poll, Stuart. Read it out.
Ooh, he did. Let's see. What did you think of the Borg Queen this episode? This new alternate Borg Queen. Loved it, liked it, was okay, or nah, didn't like it. So go vote, guys. Hit that like button. We're still at 250 likes. Oh, man, come on. 3 more likes, get to 250 at least.
But yes, and the husband walks in, and I like Picard being very Picard. He gives them very quick, sharp orders. Everyone knows, and then he's like, and you must tell me the answers. Which I thought was a bit of a dumb thing to say, because he's already said that twice, pretty much. He should have said, now go deal with that information. But, I mean, who's going to argue with Picard? This guy knows not to argue with Picard. So it's fine, just I wish. But he's not a bad guy. So I like his range of being bad is so minuscule. At least he didn't go French. He did not go evil. He's going evil. Better than season 1. The evil Picard again. Better.
But then the whole Jurati, the Borg Queen said something about the Quat Malat or the what does she call them? Infiltrated the palace, little known sects, the Quat Malat or the Final Stranglers, as they were known in the North. And she just rambles, but I needed proof and blah blah. So I called these guys down here and da 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 da. And this is a whole Annika 7 shot. So that's why she called her 7 earlier, which I thought was a great cover up. It was good.
Yeah, this was such an unnecessary moment, but it's actually rather good.
Yes.
She handles it very well. I like the fact that 7 lets her, because she's clearly not a good liar, and yet it's like, okay, I'll let her maybe break my cover. Oh, did a good job. And Picard doesn't flinch. He's like he's in character. I love it. He has no part in the moment, but he's still in character. I really like that. Yeah, it's actually Jurati's grown so much in 2 episodes. Just these writers, just infinitely better job. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And then everybody leaves. Jurati, and then starts to work on her comm badge to break through the thing. So.
Yes. Now I wish, like I said, there was more pompous here. It's a bit simplistic. But that said, I called it originally. It's the same visuals as the Academy, just flipped. It's a great visual. It's a great idea. The red's dramatic. I wish Picard said anything in this scene as a speech. I think he kind of deserved to have something. He's the famous guy. I know. Oh, yeah.
He kind of jumped over a thing, though. On the pan in, you see the Adam Soong hologram where he's holding the globe, and you hear Brent Spiner say, and its subtitles say, "Adam, a safe galaxy is a human galaxy." Yes. That's his voice doing that. So, and is it just me, or is this crowd look a lot like the courtroom from Farpoint. The same kind of. I got the same feels here, because. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good.
I was thinking the whole time. Good choice, people. Good choice to make this feel like that. That was such a smart move, because if you're a big fan of TNG, which you should be watching Picard, you must be getting these flashbacks. Tell us in the chat right now, actually, if you've got these flashbacks, because it also. I mean, is this a real reality shift? Tapestry wasn't a real reality shift, despite changing time. All Good Things wasn't a real reality shift, despite changing time. Is this or even not? I mean, both times they did stuff, so, you know. No, I thought that was very apt. And it kind of lets you get away with, you know, random civilians in basic cloth. It's not particularly creative. But who cares? You know, it works super well, actually, I think. Yeah. I kind of thought it was pandemic, like they filmed on a separate day, but there is footage of them all together in the same. So it was shot this way. No, I thought it was a very, very good choice as well.
Zango76 says, this scene reminded me of Running Man. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But I love the red light on Annika. The dialogue's good. I like it as a speech. She's just like, I guess I wrote this a few days ago. Like, right, I'm reading this dramatic speech. I've no idea how dark I'm gonna be, but not truly venomous, not mirror. Yeah. It's a good balance. I just wish Picard had a speech. Harder for him to be evil because he's, you know.
Well, he should, to buy time, he should have broke into a speech.
Yes.
That surprised me that he didn't.
Yeah.
They were trying to buy time. He was ramping the audience up doing this and like getting in, and then they started to notice and they died down. That's when I would have had the gun and said something to the Borg Queen, try to extend it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really surprised that Picard didn't do that. Yeah. Honestly. Because it seems like something he would do. He's a speech maker. He is a talker. So... yeah, that's one thing that disappointed me a little bit.
No, 100%. It should have been a case of he had the gun, he moved up and they were like, what? Listen to me, people of Earth, this is the scum of the galaxy. I heard the story once of a man who got assimilated. He was touched by her in inappropriate places. They abused him.
He was known as Locutus.
The handsomest Borg ever, I have been told.
The cutest of Borg.
Give him a like for that, guys. I would say give a super chat, but you can't. That's fantastic. Good job. No, that really needs to have been a scene. Because honestly, when you get to the end of the scene and they're not buying time, Picard feels like a baby in his like he has backup plan. No, he doesn't. He feels very season 1 Picard, but even dumber. And killing people is not his best plan. Let's be honest. So yes,
Harry Bisbee says maybe he didn't have a mic. Doesn't matter. In that situation, you just yell, you project. Like,
he's a thespian after all.
Exactly.
And besides, you just shoot the scene in the way that he's loud. Yeah, but it also would have obviously meant that, you know, how does he be that guy? The more time he speaks, that's why I think he stayed silent most of the time. He thought he'd be a silent. I get that logic, but yeah, would have been better. Yeah.
But before we get to that moment, we have Girardi messing with the combats, trying to get things to work, and shit, she swears.
Yeah.
Back to the.
It's all good.
It's good. It's good. Good. It's very well paced.
Very well paced. Considering how slow the first half is, and you would think 5 wake ups is too many, they all do something different. But great visual. Borg Queen comes out, super harsh. She's dangling, you know, she's suspended without legs. It's a good visual, even though it's very underplayed. Because they always shoot above her because it's cheaper.
Yes, that's true.
But she gets to call Rios. I don't really care too much about this conversation. I'm like, it's nice, but it's a big scene, so I'm just like, yeah, character, cool.
Yep. Get Eleanor and Raffi. Apparently, well, she plays it off like he put a virus in, so get out of the way. Have your fun with them, guys. Merry Christmas.
She's smart here. That's a good set of lines, I think.
Yeah.
And they've got the actual normal uniform, but in grey. So they've now got both versions. And she lets Eleanor get beaten up quite a lot, actually. And this is a big risk. They could have shot him. They could have stabbed him. I mean, that's a risky move by them.
Well, he's used to getting beat up.
No, sure. What, in the academy? What do you mean?
No. In the Quat Malat, like that's part of the training to like learn how to fight.
Just beaten. I know what you mean, but it's a bit. It's appropriately harsh, you know.
Yeah.
And he takes it very well. But it's a good setup, and it works well. Oof, those close-ups of the Borg Queen. Damn. Those lack of eyes. She's got a dead soul. It's great.
I love how the speech ends, though, with, "Tonight witness what awaits rebellion. Insurrection." And then she pauses. "Resistance." It's great.
Probably should have said resistance is useless. You know,
she should have said to the Queen, "Yeah, resistance is futile, you bitch."
Oh. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We need to be friendly with her after we beam her out of here. So
she'll get it. She's a thespian too. But yeah, she should have paused, walked around, and said to delay it. Should have added more. But again, Annika hasn't got any personal relationship to the Borg, so context. But then you got Picard building up the yes, strength, yes.
Very well played.
Yeah, it works. Pulls out his gun.
Showmanship with the gun, like.
Yes. I'm doing this as slow as possible, Drafty. I can only be so fancy.
Oh, anyway, yeah. Back to this conversation.
And even the Borg Queen's expressions are fantastic. Those little movements really capture something here. For no dialogue in these next 4 scenes or whatever. It's very nice little something. There's nuance here that I appreciate. But yeah, and then he's turned the power, the shielding off for only a minute. Very brief. Elnor then suddenly kicks butt, kills everyone pretty graphically. Which
I just like how she said, they're yours. Elnor, they're yours. Yep. Switch modes.
One guy throws a comm badge, which I actually don't mind. It's definitely more aggressive.
It's a comm badge. I didn't even notice that.
Takes it off, throws it, and then the guy uses it to slash. Yeah. Because that's why they're sharp now. I think
they're sharp now?
Glad you caught that. They're sharp. But it's actually a reasonably good fight. My only issue is that at the end, Raffi says, "Show off." And it's like, he murdered 3 people in cold blood. That's not a good thing to say. Show off. Yeah. You know, something, and anything else. That's a bit heartless with murdering people in cold blood. You know, bit tone deaf, Raffi. But doesn't matter if they're bad people. It's like, that's, apart from that, it was a good scene.
Yeah. Carwin Morris says Picard's gun looked very Romulan. Did it? We filmed an episode about that, so I'd stay tuned and watch that because we compare it to what it actually looks like, and you'll be surprised, I think. So stay tuned for that episode. Make sure you're subscribed and notified. Speaking of, guys, hit that subscribe button if you're not. Click the join button, see if it works at this point. I still want to get 3 members if possible. And hit that like button. We're 25 away from 300. I think we can do it.
I mean,
so do it.
Try super chatting $1, see if it goes through. No, I the amount of time Stuart said in our filming this morning, it reminds me of a Romulan pistol. And by then he's like, it doesn't remind me of it at all. Which I love.
Yeah, well, my first thought was a Romulan pistol, so I see where Carwin's coming from. But
although Double Barreled says, "Say what you will, boys and girls," but Picard's holding a 31st century phaser from Discovery. No, they're not even close.
Not even remotely close.
Apart from a curve, no. Really good reference coming, really good. Completely different.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
then
crunch time, 10 seconds left. And we're buying time here. Crowd's booing.
Doesn't work. I like the shift though. Because how there's a crescendo point and everyone has a sense of we're past that point. The hell's happening? Yeah, I quite like the tone. It's good. It genuinely has a strong pace. It does continue to bring you in. It makes you think whatever. And then
Picard shoots a few people, and
that was odd. I'll be honest.
Well, they were starting to rush because the husband gave them the go ahead to.
Well, yeah, it makes contextual sense, but also if they're the high end security, do you think an 83-year-old replicant man has better reflexes than guards who are 40, 50 years younger? Small thing.
They weren't going to go shoot them. They were going to go grab them or stop them or
fair. Okay.
Something weird was going on. They were going to take care of it. They weren't going in to kill them.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But to see Picard go straight to murder is quite a
desperate situation.
Yeah, and killed humans to save a Borg queen. Just let it sink in for a second. He just saved a Borg queen. That's got to screw the psyche a little bit, you know? I mean, bloody Ensign Lynch rolling his grave right now, isn't he?
Yep.
But luckily, nick of time, and I love, actually, that when they... Again, that beam effect, beautiful. But Dry's saying, what's the dialogue? Because it gets cut off, and it's funny.
Oh, man, I just scrolled past that. Hold on a second.
Because it's just a funny edit. And
She says, oh, boom, yes, oh. And then she says, how do you like that shit? And the shit gets cut off with the beam.
Yep. Not to say they haven't used swear words right in this episode, but I like avoiding it, but you hear it. You know what's going on without having to do it.
I love the reaction of the husband. Like, either my wife betrayed me or somebody's kidnapped my wife.
Yeah. Which is more likely, in fairness. That's more likely.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And then Rios is... I mean, what a light-up, though. This motley crew and the Borg
and
freaking
the music
queen.
Here was very... Yeah, the music here was very movie-like. That dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's a triumphant moment.
I just love Borg Queen and Picard showing a look. Because, like, what the hell are they thinking? Like, the last time I saw you, I broke your spine after burning your skin off. Fuck. Yeah, it's fun. It's good. And then it's like a rushed scene of we gotta do stuff, and we as the audience thinking, is the episode over yet? How much more? Where are we doing?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? But it keeps going. It does not slow down the pace. You know.
I gotta say too, when Girardi pushes the Borg Queen back, that's a great visual because as it goes off the platform, the thing drops, and you see the spine.
Yep.
It's very well done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, turn on the deflectors, get everything. Let's get out of here. Do not hook her up to my ship. What are you doing? They hook her up, and I missed it the first time, but the shields drop. I thought it was the Borg Queen. I'm like, why the hell would the Borg Queen do that?
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen just before that, it says presidential override in effect, and then the shields go down. So they overrode the shields with the presidential override from the planet. Just for the record. Oh, and then Eleanor gets shot. Boom.
Yeah, although briefly they connect the Borg Queen. Very you don't know what's going to happen sort of vibe. I like that. I like the Rios is my shit.
And it's like a heroin addict getting that first hit.
Yes.
Because she's been away from the hive and everything.
Any technology.
Alone, isolated. And when she gets plugged in, she's got that... Oh, yeah.
Because in reality, nanoprobes assimilate. Like, she could... Everyone in this crew within minutes, right? This is bad. In a good way. And I like Rio saying it's my ship because he's been on it again for like 4 hours, and despite being off for a year, it's my ship again. Rolls right back into that, which I liked.
Well, there was in episode 1 too. What the hell did you do to my ship?
I know, but
it's my ship, and
it hasn't been a ship for a while though. That's what I'm saying. But he rolls right back into it, which I like.
It's like a car owner. Once you've owned it, it's like that's my car.
Yep.
Even though somebody else has it, it's like that was my car.
100%. So I just like that. I like how everyone's doing something, and then I think we all thought they're gonna escape, all cut there. But I was super thrilled by suddenly the guy beams in unexpectedly. I say kills Elnor based on it being a kill shot. I'm committing he's gonna get killed, which is a great surprise. And the fact that the husband beams in solo, which I didn't notice the first time, like he is that brave, goes in first, guns up, sure, but goes in, guns blazing, which is fair, shoots the prisoner, who logically is the guy that might be corrupting everybody. And then the team beams in after him, one of which gun not even raised, not knowing the situation. Like,
but the look of craziness on his face, like it's all coming together, the weird shit that's been happening the past day. And it's like he looks at General Picard and he's like, oh, you. Yeah.
Well, he has no idea what's happening. I do get that sense of I'm just reacting here. You know, this is one of the happiest day of my life today, and he ruined it. And then, insults Picard, and it actually ends on a cliffhanger, and it's a really successful cliffhanger because they don't stop momentum once. This almost could have been a movie, you know, like pacing wise, really strong ending, and I'm very excited for next week. Pissed there's no next time on. Although there was in the ready room there was a scene from next week, which is it's cool, it's interesting. I'll wait for next week, but definitely like oof, they did a thing. They did a thing. Wow.
Also, What would it say under your skull? Traitor. What does it say?
And it's interesting
Traitor killed while rescuing a Borg. I would have said killed while rescuing the Borg Queen.
Yeah, but that gives him too much credit, though. It's cool to save a queen, not cool to save a random Borg. I just no, I don't know what I was gonna say, but no, it's a real good episode. So guys, put in your final non-super chat comments, I guess.
If you can super chat your score, please do so. I'll read those when we're done. If you just put in the regular chat.
I mean, some of you can, in fairness. So if those of you that have super chat before, bit of pressure on you guys, but we need $45 to reach our basic minimum, which is not great for these sorts of ones. But we know you'll come back on Tuesday, etc. But I will also finish the poll. About 200 votes. What do you think of the new Borg Queen of this episode? This new alternate alien, because it's not the same human variant. 46 loved it. 39 liked it. 12 okay. 3 didn't like it. Again, 85% positive. Picard, guys, you're doing a good job with your... Because that's a thing you've got to get right, you know? Yeah.
And Picard season 1 was a letdown. It was like the worst of all the new Trek by a long mile. So.
And this only makes it look worse. Because it's the same actors. Like, everyone's better now this year. It's crazy.
Yeah. We have 292 likes as well. Guys, let's get 8 more likes, get to 300. Should be super easy. Barely an inconvenience for you handsome and beautiful people out there. Hit that like button. So now I'll just talk about whether my opinion's changed a bit since when we talked about it here, and it hasn't. I've watched this 4 times already. I love this one. I think it's really fun, really well paced, beautifully acted, beautifully written. There's nothing in here that really bugs me. There was 1 or 2 little sticky points in the first episode that were minor little things. Nothing here stood out to me as anything really bad or egregious. So I loved the characters, all of their adaptations to this environment. Girardi's acting was awesome in this, I think, for her character. And the new Borg Queen was on point. Picard, he took up that evil mantle pretty well and did a good job with it. Rios was just a fish out of water, and I just love Rios in all situations. Just the way he handles things is great. Seven is just Seven. She actually felt like Seven, even though she's as far from Seven as she could be at this point, not having any Borg implants. So she felt more like Seven than season 1, as Samuel was saying earlier. Elnor was great. I'm not a big fan. Wasn't a big fan of Elnor in season 1, but his absolute candor and kind of comic relief in this episode was great as well. Yeah, a few set pieces, but the same ones altered back and forth a bit there, and it was I think it was really well done, and the pacing was fantastic. Cliffhanger actually caught me because I was sure there wasn't going to be a cliffhanger, that they were going to get these guys off the ship and then warp out and have the ships come after them, and that was going to be the end. So I was waiting, and it just boom to the credits, and I'm like, no. So if you can keep me that engaged to that point, that's a good thing in my opinion. So this one really kind of, yeah, it was good.
Stuart, it's as if people heard season 1 comments and they addressed all of them. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, keep it up, guys. So anyway, as for my scores, for
yeah, if you remember last time we added the qualification, I think we should do this week as well. Your personal enjoyment, your compared to all new Treks, that's Discovery and whatever, and then compared to season 1 of Picard.
Keep doing these scores all the time.
Just for this one, we'll end on this one. So yeah, general enjoyment compared to all the new Treks and compared to season 1 of Picard.
Personal enjoyment for me, this one would be a 9.8. It was really good. I really enjoyed everything in this one, even all the references to DS9 characters and stuff.
Yeah.
All of New Trek, it's going to be still like a 8.9. It was good. Okay, now we go to Picard. All of Picard.
Yes.
All of Picard. 9.5. For this season, I don't even remember what I scored last week, so goddamn.
We've already done that. That's personal enjoyment. That's what that is.
Oh, okay, fine.
Do you want me to tell you what he gave last week?
Sure.
9.6. So you're up to 0.2.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's a point here and there, so it's a little bit, yeah.
Thing is, it builds on last week, so it has the advantage of being continuing the story. No, for me, it was genuinely a great episode of Star Trek. It was well played. It had logic. It wasn't full of plot holes. You weren't thinking what's happening. The characters were done well. The lack of the forced coronavirus measures actually, I think, what was an advantage, which is very rare, but well done them. The burning with references at the start was great. Set up the character super well. Everyone did better. They had a lot of focus. The pacing was fantastic. Picard was really, really good, exactly as you expect. Him with the Borg Queen was excellent. Borg Queen was a shocking surprise of quality. I'm sure she'll get a bit weird once she can climb around the ship. It will go weird, but this is great as it is. And even the alternate universe things, I'm sad if we're going to skip past the alternate universe this quickly. I want to see more of the present, the normal present, but this was interesting. I want to see more of this. But they didn't build any new ships or anything, so they didn't put too much money into it. So I can see them going past it pretty quickly, but that's okay. Score-wise, I mean, this beats all of season 1 of Picard. Again, I mean, not even a question of that. Nothing in Picard even gets close to this, except last week's. So, is it better than last week? I enjoyed last week more because of the wow factor of the freshness, but the Laris start and the Guinan wasn't as strong as the other bits of the episode. So that, I look back and think, okay, those weren't as good. Everything else was really solid. This, almost everything was on the same quality level. So by that logic, it has to be better because of the general quality was just higher. Mm-hmm. There wasn't as much wow factor, like new ships, but the overall quality was better across the board. Like, it didn't dip really. So I do have to get better than last week.
Cameos from Gul Dukat, Martok, and Sarek in this.
Yes, J.G. Hertzer coming back. Wow. But my skull was in it. Where's my royalties? It's my skull after all. Yeah, I'm going to have to say, because I want to leave room for everything else. So my guts is 9.2. So slightly higher, slightly less than yours. Well, more or less. Higher than last week, 9.2. All new Trek, it's got to be in the 9 again. I think they've hit this. This is as good as Best of Lower Decks. So I'm going to say a solid 9 for all of the new Trek.
Okay. And
then, like you say, compared to Picard season 1, I mean, I'm going to match last week's, so 9.975. I mean, it's as good. I mean, it's just not even a competition compared to last first season. So good job again. And I was worried a bit, about how they would. Can they catch lightning in a bottle twice? Turns out they can't. They can catch new lightning in a second bottle. Good job. Yeah.
Geraldine says, "Well, crap." Super chat says, "Unexpected error. Try later."
I know.
Damn it! I'll keep trying. Thank you guys. And yeah, it's a little low this review because of the error, but that's fine. I'm sure you guys will be back next Friday for the next episode, which should follow this pacing hopefully very well.
And Tuesday for our next Picard Live. But if you want to do any last minute sort of super chat-esque things, then you can Trekyards@hotmail.com. It's the PayPal. We'll be here for another 5 minutes if you want to. That's always fun. But yeah, and we had a good time. It's a good episode, and there's certainly be fun ones to come. Stuart, do you want to read out the non-super chat scores? Because there are no super chat scores. You can take a burden off me. You can do that for the fans.
Oh, sure.
See how it feels.
So we got an 8.4, 8, 9.5, 9, 8.5, 9, 9.7, 9.5, 9, 8.1, 8.5, 9, 9.38, 9, 9.8, 9, 8, 7, 7 shots out of 10. I like that one. 9 out of 10, 7, 9.975. The Trek reviewer gave it the same as you. 7, 9, 9, 9. I sound like I'm German. I'm just saying no. I'm not reading your scores. Let's see. About 7.5, 8.5, 9.2, 69, says Turd Ferguson. 9.7 out of 9, says Kit. 8.5 out of 10, and 9.2, 9, 7.69. I just 7.69420 says Steps TV. Now you're just having me read numbers. 1, 9.5, 9, 8 plus. All right, I'm done now. That's a lot. So yeah, pretty concisive, high scoring there, which is great. Do we want to finish this poll up? Let's see.
Yes.
125 people voted. Was this episode better than episode 1 with 34%? The same as episode 1 with 36%, so that's the winner. Worse than episode 1 at 7%, and close to episode 1 quality-wise at 22%. So, same as episode 1.
That's interesting. Glad I asked. And Super Coop says, just so you know, I tried 4 super chats. Well, thank you. All 4 showing has been debited from my account. They may show up later in the Trekyards account. We will let you guys know.
Yeah, it's an issue on our end as well, guys. We're in the same kind of boat as you. We don't know what's going on, so.
But either way, we had fun. And Stuart, you're welcome to tell them what they're going to watch tomorrow as our video. Spoil the reveal.
Tomorrow, if you watch our Saturday release, which you should, it is the CSS World Razor video. We do hope to get a special guest on to talk about that at some point, but this is our first look at it. So
with concept art and with other bits and bobs, so it's really we've scoured what's been released, and we have a pretty in-depth first look, which is kind of what you want. So tune in for that.
And join me tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my live first reaction to Discovery, episode 12, almost at the end. There's only one more to go, and this is called Species 10C. So join me tonight for that if you want to hear about that and talk about that. So,
and I'll say it now, it was a good episode. So do tune in to see Stuart's. They finally get to sort of the point. Sort of.
Felt very Star Trek.
And 309 likes, fantastic. 226 people, thanks so much. You'll see us on Monday for a Discovery review, and hopefully Tuesday for a Picard live as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Stuart. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Samuel.
I'm going to go back to editing because I've got to edit the next set of videos. Thanks, guys. Until next time, everybody. He's General Foley.
I am, and he's President Cockings. Something changed in the timeline. Oh my God.